At 12:57,
Right on.
spring starts. But in a year where we learned a new weather word, polar vortex, everyone was saying it, you may be surprised to learn the season actually came early this year.
Well, that's according to the folks over at NASA. They have a fleet of satellites. They've been monitoring our planet for 40 years. Joining us to explain what all this means and maybe the effects on the planet, we have Dr. Michelle Thaler here. Doctor, great to see you again this morning. What's this all about?
Good morning, Gil.
I still have snow in my backyard.
Oh, no kidding. It's hard to believe that spring is actually arriving, but today is the official first day. And in fact, if you live in the eastern United States like I do, it's been a brutal winter. We've actually plotted a map that shows you how temperatures have deviated from the normal. And in fact, yes, the eastern United States has been very cold. That's the blue color. But now go out to a global perspective. And the rest of the planet, including the rest of the United States, actually had a warmer than average winter. So unfortunately, we were the unlucky ones right here on the East Coast. And that's a wonderful demonstration of the difference between weather and climate. Locally, it was cold. Globally, it was warm.
And Dr. Thaler, when it comes to having an earlier spring and a later fall, any more chances for severe weather? Is that what that means?
Well, in this case, one of the things we're looking at is not so much severe weather, but the effect that it's going to have on things like forests. For example, if you have snowpack that begins to melt sooner because the spring has come sooner, that means that the ground will dry out later on in the summer. And that combined with warm temperatures in the summer could create a very bad wildfire season. So certainly in the western United States, we're going to be looking for that to happen. And there are also things like insect damage. You know, if you have lots of frost-free days, some of these parasitic insects like pine bark beetles can start to destroy the trees. That actually increases the fire risk too. So there are consequences right here on the ground for spring coming earlier.
And doctor, I love looking at all the satellite imagery. I do that every single day. What kind of specific satellite imagery are you guys kind of monitoring and looking at? I mean, as you mentioned, we're coming up into the flood season. So snow cover, all things like that?
Mm-hmm. That's right. I mean, one of the amazing things is that NASA has a fleet of 19 different spacecraft that are up in orbit right now looking at the Earth. And we monitor the oceans, the land, obviously the atmosphere. We're looking at all the water content. This is from our Aqua and Terra satellites where you can actually see the greening of the United States. So all the way up in space, we can see spring coming. We can see the spread of the active vegetation. And that's the wonderful thing about NASA's view, that when you look at the Earth from above, you get the whole picture, the global view of what's coming. And you can actually watch the seasons come. And for me, spring just can't come soon enough.
You and all of our viewers, Doctor, I think would agree with you. You know, I could chat another 30 minutes with you. I love when we have you on in the morning. Unfortunately, we're running out of time, but thanks so much for getting up early and joining us this morning.
Well, thanks, Gil. You have a great day.
All right, you too. Enjoy spring. Happy spring.